In this lesson, we're going to learn how to create shapes in Photoshop. So just go ahead and create a new lesson and go ahead and call this shapes. Make sure our background is white. That's fine. 1000 by 1000 pixels. We just got a square. Cool. So creating shapes in Photoshop is actually relatively easy. We have a shape tool down here. And if we click and hold the shape tool down here, we can do different options. Rectangle, rounded rectangle, ellipse, which is for circles, polygon, line tool, or a custom shape tool. So say we just take our rectangle. Before we create the shape, let's choose the options we want for the shape. We have our fill, so this is the color of the inside of the shape. So let's pick that purple. It's a kind of cool color. The stroke, this is the border around the shape. We'll leave that at 0 points right here, so it won't show up. And the color, it doesn't really matter since it's at 0 points. And then here is the stroke option. We'll show you that in just a second. Now, if I click and drag on my project, I start getting this rectangular shape. If I hold Shift down, it becomes a perfect square. If I hold Option down, it creates a square from the point where I clicked. I'm just going to create a normal rectangle, just like so. And when I let go, you see that this rectangular shape is created. I have a new layer over here in our layer panel. This property box opened up. I don't really need that open right now. I have the properties I want to edit up there. And then we can take our just regular selection tool and move this around. We can go in, choose the bounding box edge and reshape this. We can rotate it by hovering our mouse around the corner of an edge and rotating it. Say we want more of a diamond looking feature. We can do so like that. Bring this in. Just create whatever kind of shape you want, really. When you're done moving it around, press return on your keyboard to lock it in place. And you'll see what happens is when we select this shape, we don't get those options up here for the color and the stroke. We got to go back to our shape tool right here so that we can select the stroke and the fill color. So if we want to add a stroke, let's just choose a color. Let's just choose a black and then increase the points from 0 to something a lot bigger so we can see it. If we want to make this stroke a dashed line, we can click dash line. And if we want more options, let's click those more options and see what it looks like. We can choose the alignment of this stroke to be the inside of the shape, or maybe we want it to be the outside or on the center, so actually on the line. We can also choose the number and the gap between the dashes. So say we choose 5 for the dashes. So that's the length of the dash and the gap distance. So say we say 1, there's a small gap, or maybe we want it to be a 5 dash with a 5 gap. Or we could add multiple, so 5 dash 5 gap, then so it's a 5, 5, 3, 3, 5, 5, 3, 3. We can also change the cap of the dash, change it to a square by changing it from a round cap to a butt cap. So there are a lot of options for the stroke, but I'm actually just going to turn that off right there. The next thing we can do to edit a shape actually is to use what's called a anchor point tool. So I'm going to use this delete anchor point tool. I'm going to click on the shape, and when I hover over one of the points, one of the edges or the corners of this shape, I can actually delete it. So this is how you actually create custom shapes. Or I can add points. So say I take this add anchor point tool down here, go on the line path, so the edge, and click. I can take this, click right there. Now to move these, I can just click them like so. But if I'm actually in my move tool, my selection tool, I can't click those points. To get to those points, I can use this direct selection tool down here, which is this little arrow. And if I click on the shape, it brings up all of the anchor points, and I can move the anchor points around. So that's how you would kind of create a cool custom shape using the shapes tool. If I go ahead and select another shape tool and say bring up the ellipse tool, change the color, just like so. Whoops, I changed the color of that shape. I don't want to change that shape. I have to uncheck this rectangle. So let's just click off of the rectangle. Click down here. And then with the circle selected, let's just change the shape again. Choose a blue and create that circle, clicking and dragging. If we hold the shift down, it locks it into a perfect circle. If you want more of an oval shape, don't hold the shift down, but I want a perfect circle for this one. So now with my move tool selected, I can move this around. I can put it beneath my other layer, create some cool funky shapes if I want. Now I'm going to turn this off, these two layers, so that I have a blank canvas, and then I'm going to go down and choose my polygon tool. The polygon tool is cool because you can create any shape that you want with any number of sides. So say we want a triangle, you see the sides right here, change the sides to 3, change your color to whatever you want, and then click and drag, and you have a triangle come out of that shape. So that's a polygon. And if we go back and choose this polygon tool again and choose 5 sides, we can create a pentagon. Pretty cool, huh? So that's the quick way to create shapes in Photoshop. It's the way that I create shapes 99% of the time. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to create your own custom shapes with the pen tool. Thanks for watching.